What's up, everybody? Welcome back. First of all, thank you all very much for coming over on Review Tech USA's channel on Sunday evening when we discussed, myself and Rich, about the rumor for the new Nintendo Switch coming out in 2019, 4K enabled, all that good stuff. It was all the talk over the weekend, and we will be revisiting that rumor in the not too distant future, probably soon. But for this video, we're going to be talking about Dark Souls. And as you may or may not know, Dark Souls Remastered is being released on October 19th. And Bandai Namco announced that they will be releasing a trilogy collection the same day and date, on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but not the Nintendo Switch. And this collection of the trilogy of Dark Souls is going to retail for $79.99. It's going to have all the DLC for all three games, and releasing on the same day as the single version of Dark Souls Remastered for the Nintendo Switch for $39.99. And of course, yesterday, many Nintendo fans were upset about this announcement because it reminded them of Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U back in 2012. You may or may not remember that as well. But Mass Effect 3 was a launch game on the Wii U. Then I think just a couple weeks later or so, they announced that the Mass Effect Trilogy was being released for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and fans got really upset about that. They felt that they got a bum deal because those games are being offered for the same price as the single version of Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U. So yeah, that was a pretty big slap in the face for Wii U owners at the time and Nintendo fans. And in this case, it does feel the same way for many Nintendo fans, that it was a slap in the face. It is a little bit different though, because it is a higher price, so it is double the cost, and you're getting all three games for the collection on PS4 and Xbox One, and it's half the price, $39.99 on the Switch for just the one game. But releasing it day and date, this collection with the Nintendo Switch version, is kind of suspect because it looks like Bandai Namco is just wanting to get the Dark Souls name out there during the holiday season and make more money, because they did delay Dark Souls Remastered on the Nintendo Switch, and they already released Dark Souls Remastered on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 back in May. So then re-releasing it again with all three games, because it does include the remastered version for this collection, on October 19th. Whether you disagree or agree with this move or not by Bandai Namco, this does definitely hurt the Nintendo Switch version of the game, because the game was already being pitted against Battlefield 5 and Soul Calibur 6 on October 19th, and then the following week, Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out October 26th. So Dark Souls Remastered on the Switch was already in danger of being looked over anyway. Now, Bandai Namco is putting out its own competition against the game with a Dark Souls Trilogy for the competing consoles. So yeah, it's disappointing because any more releases on that day has the potential of taking away further sales from Dark Souls Remastered on the Nintendo Switch. I've seen some fans say that basically they're just not interested in the game at all anymore, their hype has been totally dampened by it, and they may just skip the game anyway and not support this type of business practice by Bandai Namco. Now for me though, what I'm going to say is that this third-party publisher, Bandai Namco, they're looking out for their own best interests. Just like any other third party, they want to make the most money possible this holiday season, and they don't really care about loyalty to a certain console or console manufacturer. They don't care about fanboys complaining. All they care about really is making money for the holiday season. Now, they definitely don't want to look bad, in consumers' eyes, because that's just going to make them leave, of course. And third-party publishers do this kind of thing all the time. They'll announce something, and they may look like it's exclusive for a certain console, or it may look like it's even a time exclusive, even though they don't say anything. And then all of a sudden, the last minute, they'll announce another version for another console that's being released at the same time as that version, making fans upset. Now, when they delayed Dark Souls Remastered on the Nintendo Switch, they of course didn't say anything about releasing a trilogy at that time. They just announced it now, about 2 months before it releases. And they may see that Dark Souls Remastered being a single release on the Nintendo Switch simply may not be enough for them to make the most revenue possible this holiday, so they are in fact releasing the entire trilogy collection on the other consoles to get even more money from the Dark Souls name during that time. So a question arose, what about the trilogy for the Nintendo Switch? Is it coming onto the Nintendo Switch? Are we going to get more Dark Souls games on Nintendo Switch in the future? So a new rumor came forth today by Leaky Pandy. This comes from a report from NintendoInsider.com, where they're reporting that Leaky Pandy did some investigative work with his sources that work close to Bandai Namco, asking about Dark Souls Trilogy coming to the Nintendo Switch. And the answer right now is no, it's not coming to the Switch. However, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, the game is actually currently already in development for the Nintendo Switch, according to this rumor, and that Dark Souls Remastered for the Switch was being used as a quote-unquote springboard to maximize efficiency. So with that in mind, Dark Souls 2 could be ported to the Switch a lot faster due to it already running on the same engine as Dark Souls Remastered. And he said that there's no word on Dark Souls 3 at this point because it already ran at 30 frames per second or below on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and the game was a lot more demanding on those consoles than Dark Souls 1 or 2 was. And if you look up Dark Souls 2 on Metacritic, it is the highest rated game of the series. Many consider Dark Souls 2 to be the best in the series. So, and yes, it would still need to be ported to the Nintendo Switch because basically all they have is Dark Souls Remastered to work off of as their engine base. With PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, Dark Souls 2 and 3 are already released on those consoles. This is basically a repackaging of those games with all DLC included for a higher price. Those games don't need to be ported or re-optimized or anything like that. They're already done and ready to go. This is just basically a repackaging of these games to give the series a bigger presence at retail during the holiday season. So this whole Dark Souls thing has put a bad taste in many Nintendo fans' mouths already. So are you feeling the same way yourself? Would you be interested in waiting for Dark Souls 2 to come on the Nintendo Switch because portability is the main reason why you would buy it? Or are you going to buy the Dark Souls Trilogy on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and PC this holiday? Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section. If you did enjoy this video, guys, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you very soon in the next video. Have a great day.